Okay, let's call the meeting to order. The District of Chetwynd, May 4th, 2020, and is 4:33. We'll have the opening statement read.
As we begin our meeting this evening, we reflect on the service we provide to our citizens, and we will endeavor to conduct our business effectively and productively on their behalfs. Thank you.
Thank you. Any new business that needs to be added to our agenda? Okay, we've got Rochelle Galbraith.
Yes, if you don't mind, if we could add to new business, the community garden. I've been getting a lot of requests and questions from people, but I don't have all the answers. So maybe we could have an update on how people go about applying for a spot in the community garden and when it's opening and anything else pertinent to the community garden.
Okay, Carol, did you have something?
Well, the late item regarding the flag policy,
Okay, yep.
RA1. And also,
Yep, go ahead.
when the agenda is adopted, could we make a reference to the ministerial order M139 to allow us to conduct our business over this Zoom meeting?
M139.
That's correct.
And one more, we need to close our closed meeting. We had everybody left and we didn't close that. So what's our procedure here, Carol? If we have a motion, we just need a seconder.
Yeah, I believe, but to adjourn a meeting, you only need the mover.
Okay, good. We're closed then. Thank you.
Awesome.
Any other new items prior to adoption of the agenda? Okay, not hearing any. I need a motion to adopt the agenda as.
I would make that motion in reference to M139.
Okay. Seconder?
I'll second.
Okay, Jocelyn seconds. All those in favor? Any to the contrary? Any opposed? Just because I can't see you, Mel? Okay, good. Okay, carried. Okay, minutes of the meeting, regular meetings on April 20th.
Motion to receive.
Second.
Second by Mel.
Yep.
All those in favor? Accept.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, carried. No delegation, so we'll continue down to the bylaws. B1, District of Chetwynd Finance Plan 2020-2024, bylaw number 1115, 2020 requires adoption.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Rochelle moved, Mel second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? Okay, carried. B2, bylaw number 2, District of Chetwynd 2020 tax rate bylaw number 1116, 2020 requires adoption.
So moved.
I got a mover?
Second.
Okay, Janet, second. Any discussion? Okay, not hearing any. All those in favor? Any opposed? Carried. Any reports on our COVID-19? We're all good. Everybody's heard that we're doing all right and everything's going according to our health minister's plan. Right? Nobody's heard otherwise?
Not me.
Okay, good.
No.
Good. Hey, moving on, if we're all good with the reports, we've got discussion item. DI 1, email from the Chetwynd Chamber of Commerce dated April 27, Chetwynd District Economic Recovery Task Force.
I can make that recommendation, that Council Galbraith be authorized to participate on the Chetwynd District Economic Recovery Task Force.
I would second that.
We will, yes, we will have another second, Rochelle.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Okay. Thanks for that. On top of that,
Fair
Rochelle.
enough. Fair enough.
Okay, any discussion?
I just have a question or
Yes.
two.
Go ahead.
I would just like to know if the mayor is also included on this task force. And if not, does he plan to be?
Yes,
Okay,
so we will have to.
thank you.
Any more on the task force? Is there anything that council might need in information on reports back? Let's say, I guess, I don't want to say anything that's not important or very important. I guess when myself and Councillor Galbraith discuss stuff, if it needs to be brought to council right away, we will inform the CAO and we will distribute it to council immediately. If that's all right with Councillor Galbraith?
Yes, but I also just am apart somehow in this because of the economic development, of course. And, maybe bring that report from Ellen or from our economic development as well.
What is our, what's the number that they in front of us here?
I don't see that.
Okay, Carol, go ahead.
You do want to have the MLA and
Okay.
there is in any kind of is officially invited, so you can sit in a meeting.
Okay,
that you want.
let's do that. Rochelle, let's just add Ellen, part of our, as Carol stated, the mayor's always invited. So
Oh,
let's go with that.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I
We
think
will send both names.
Okay.
Councillor
I just
Galbraith
have a
and
question. Reasoning behind the task force. I guess I read it, but I don't quite.
go ahead, Rochelle.
I'm just Tumbler Ridges and Fort St. John's task force, and because have had to close and shut down because of COVID-19. They have come up with a task force, see what is available and the resources businesses back on track. We know stuff that they don't, the change that we did. If we all work collaboratively together, we can possibly help them get their businesses back up. That's of course.
more questions? Okay, so have Rochelle. So do we need to amendment to add Ellen? Or, yes, let's do that. I need an amendment to add to the task force along with
Motion, do you need me to do the amendment?
it doesn't matter with the amendment.
Okay. I can make that
As long as
resolution.
you agree to the amendment, we're good.
So, do you want me to make, okay,
Yes.
so, resolution to.
Second.
And second, okay, okay, all in favor of the amendment? Any opposed? Okay, on the motion amended to add Ellen. Any discussion on that? Any more discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Opposed? Okay, carry. Ellen, and if the mayor's not involved, I believe we have good people there that we will get a proper report back. AO says, mayor usually involved in that. Okay. Correspondence. One. That anyone would like to discuss? So let's make that motion to accept the
Make that motion to
correspondence.
receive.
Kate Mel second. All those in favor? Okay, information items. This one here, we discussed a little bit about that. I've got, and let's make it to our meeting. Let's make it official so that we have it on record to discuss this as safety concerns to control where they are at in a provincial has somebody looking after them so they have a good idea. And they're usually designated in quite a, I guess, small area in a park right now with designation of them closed to the public and no fires. People are going outside. So that's my safety concern, and that's why I would like to, at least on the mayor's part, put that forward, that is my safety concern, that people will go outside the parks and start fires, campfires outside that. So that's my concern, that we might have forest fires start more likely out of those than having them inside a controlled area like a park. Okay, Rochelle?
So my understanding is you want to pull this from the information item so that we can respond to the Ministry of Forest, Land, Natural Resource Operations with our
Yes,
concern.
just send a letter to that fact that we were concerned about our safety and that the campfires are controlled in a provincial park. Laura?
No, that was basically what I was just wondering what you want us to do with it. Are we going to respond
Yes,
by letter?
yes.
That's good. That's all I was wondering.
Okay, it's just a concern from Chetwynd's perspective that we don't want saying that, well, you guys didn't really concern yourself about it. We're concerned about it. That's the letter that we'll be putting forward.
So that would, excuse me, that would
Yes,
just,
go ahead, Mel.
for somebody going out camping, say by the Sakunka River or something like that, and we don't want a fire out there, is that what we're saying? Or?
No, we're saying that the fires that happen deep in the wilderness, wherever you go, say Carbon Lake, because there's the provincial park is closed, and maybe they'll go up Moberly Road and any service road rather than the provincial park where they could camp and be by the lake. They will go somewhere else where they could have a fire because the provincial lake is closed.
Oh, so you want the parks open is what you're saying, basically?
That would be a great thing, Mel. Right now, I think the paintbrush is being painted throughout the province that if provincial parks are closed, provincial parks are closed. And if they open up in the north, I believe that's the answer that we might get. I'm just speculating on what the answer might be, and this is what I feel might be part of the answer is we're going to be closed, and it's a provincial park, especially the one at the lake in Moberly. They hold quite a few spots, and that's quite a few people that are going to go out and have maybe a fire in some of those spots that are not controlled.
Okay, but that wouldn't include any private land or anything like that. We're just looking at
Yes, just provincial parks, and yes, that's what the forest and land are talking about closing them.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
yeah. Any more on? We'll send a letter out prior to sending it to the ministry. So myself and Carol, she'll get one written up, and then we'll just, it won't be a big letter. We're just concerns, a couple of concerns that we brought up. Is there anything else in the information that we might be brought out of there? Okay, if there isn't any, we need a motion to accept.
Motion to accept 1 through 17.
I believe it's 23 we got here, Mel.
Okay, pardon me. Yeah, 1 through 23.
Yep,
Pardon me.
okay, good enough.
I would second that with the exception of I-12 because we're pulling it out.
Great.
Correct. Okay, any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Okay, carried. So reports to action. We don't have any there. Reports for information, and we'll carry on to new business. Okay, we'll start with you, Rochelle, with the community garden.
Okay, thank you. I've had a lot of questions about whether or not we're continuing with the community garden, and I know we are, but there's a lot of people that don't know the process to go about ordering or securing a spot, and I'm hoping that maybe we can get an update as to when they think that the community garden will be open and what is the process for the community to get their spot.
Okay, so the community garden, we've already started advertising for people to actually secure their spot. Timing wise, waiting for the water to go. We've actually done some work down there to get rid of some of the high water over by the PVP. They call parks, and what they do is they give me their contact information, phone numbers, and then we go from there and register their site, and then we meet with them prior to the May long weekend, and we've got bamboo sticks and different things for them to show where their sites are. And then the existing planters that have already been down at the site previous, they will go with their already pre-worked up sites, and we'll just mentor and work with them as we go. The gardens themselves, we've ordered some additional topsoil to be added to the garden, and we're changing our location a little bit for the new gardeners to go onto the other side closer to the road, so that we can flip-flop and add more topsoil and give some other soils some chance to be able to get ahead of it. But so far we've already had 6 new gardeners register for this season. And we actually are rototilling and preparing the site so the work will not have to be done by the gardener. Just because the area is so worked up with extra grass, it takes so long to be able to actually work the garden and for them to have success in that. So that's where we are right now.
Thank you. Carol, did you have something you wanted to add?
Well, I was just going to say that community gardens are considered an essential service. So by provincial order, we're allowed to go ahead and garden. So that I think it's really nice. It gives the community another chance for a healthy activity outside and to produce their own food.
Okay, thanks, you guys.
Laura?
I just, you said, do they have to call parks? Like who do they call? If somebody wants a garden, who do they contact?
They just call the main office number, the 250-401-4100, and they just ask for parks, and they'll patch them through to myself or Audra, and we'll just get them set up.
Okay. Awesome.
So that information will be put in the information that we're sending out as advertising?
It's already actually, yes, it's already been advertised through the Facebook page. Right now, there's not a huge options of being able to advertise. That's probably a little bit of a struggle. We've been doing some posters around other areas in the community, and I know that the seniors have reached out to me now and know that we're actually doing the sites. So we can look at some mass mails and some other ideas for marketing if we don't get a lot of participation. We're just trying to do the best we can with just posters and verbal communication, because there's no real paper, right? So.
Okay, anybody else got on the community garden? One of the things I was asked about the community garden was, I believe there was dirt put down or brought there, and somebody was asking me can I just get that and take it home? I says, no, you're gonna have to contact the office and find out.
Yeah.
You have to have, it's got to be used at the community garden. So
Yeah.
I directed them to the office here.
Okay. You know, the 2 soil piles that we pulled back, if anybody's gone down there before, it was very high on both sides of the PVP and the garden side. So we've actually cleared that all and pulled the soil back. And the idea is for that to start to mature and use back so we can throw it back into for next year. So yeah, we really don't want people taking it and using it in their own garden. But I will tell you, there's topsoil available with both producers. Lassers and Rat Race have topsoil. Home Hardware has lots of product in their garden facility that are available. And like Carol said, it is classified as an essential service, and the farmers market is going ahead as well. So, you know, all those key things, but yeah, we don't necessarily want them using it for their own garden.
Yes, that's good. Any more questions or that we need to talk about the community gardens? I think that's great. It's a great opportunity for people to grow vegetables that don't normally have a spot to do it. So that's good. So, not hearing any more, we'll move on to RA1. We've got the half-mast flags policy, masting policy. So we have this, and I had a question for Carol, and we brought it up, and Councillor Galbraith had a question, so we put it to the CAO, and she come up with, I believe, Deanne, if you're on, Deanne, were you building a policy? And I think we have it in our
mail.
does everybody, has everybody read it?
Mhm.
The new policy?
Yep.
Okay, Deanne, are you on?
I am, yes.
Okay, can you give us just a little background on the old one and the one that we're going to discuss today?
Okay, so I don't believe we ever actually had a half-masting flag policy.
Yeah.
I kind of went and did some research around the neighboring municipalities, and I think a lot of this followed what they do, and it just kind of it's pretty much an overview where, I mean, in the end, either the mayor or the CAO can have the final say rather than going to each council member too. So
let's start with Councillor Galbraith. Just give us a little bit about what's going on with the helicopter that crashed in the Mediterranean.
Well, I don't know any more than what you're seeing on social media. Sorry.
Yeah, just take your time. We're here.
They're just 4 months into their 6-month mission, and there were concerns if they were going to return to port after this, but they're not, because that's who they are and that's what they do. So they're going to finish their mission, and they're out there for us. They're out there for each and every Canadian in Canada, and to protect us and to make sure that we have the freedoms that we do today. So I think it was really important that we respect and remember them. So.
Yeah, thank you for that, Rochelle. It's very important that we hear what's going on out there, and that we respect people that protect our lives and our livelihood and the way we live here in Canada. So with that, is there any more on this half-mast policy? That it is something that gives the opportunity for us to show and honor and with respect to the fallen, that we can do that with this. And I believe, did Fort St. John have theirs at half-mast, Rochelle?
Yes, they have. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of military kids from the north.
Oh, yes,
if you
yes.
believe that. You know, our cadets have been really instrumental, and down in Fort St. John with the Army cadets and our air cadets, and they're a value to our communities and our country.
Yes. So is there anybody else on the half-mast that would like to say something? Okay, I guess we'll just go this, we need a motion to adopt this policy of half-mast flags for mourning.
I'll make the recommendation that council that the half-masting flag, sorry, lost my spot here, that the half-masting flags policy be adopted.
I would second.
Okay.
Any more discussion? Okay, not hearing any. All those in favor? Any opposed? Okay, carried. Thank you. And CAO? Carol?
Yes.
we will be applying that policy tomorrow.
Yes, we kind of preempted it a little bit because we half-masted our flags today.
Perfect. That's perfect. I like that. Okay, so anyway, we've got this M139, or is it?
Oh, yeah, that was just part
That's
of
done.
adopting the agenda.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Okay, with that, I don't see any, yes? Somebody's hollering in the background. Okay, so we're done new business. There's no public. Is there any public questions that anybody's been given?
No, we put the question out on Facebook, but we received no responses.
Okay, okay, that's perfect. Okay, thank you. Okay, adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Okay, adjourned.
Have a good night.
Thank
Good
you.
night, guys.
Hey, Deanne, before you go, can I ask you a question?